Well, hey there. Good morning, Brickheads. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week has gone well so far. I'm here to help you out to get you through the rest of it with a Wild Card Wednesday. And today's topic is a good one. And honestly, pound for pound, probably the most exciting thing I like talking about lately. And that is none other than the Bricklink Designer Series. So we're going to get into that. But first, I do always like to say thank you. You know, no matter how you are catching this episode, whether it's on your favorite podcast platform, or maybe you're a visual person and you just like checking out the YouTube pages because you like the imagery, however you're catching this episode, I just appreciate it. And what's more, I appreciate the interaction. You know, if you're watching on the YouTube page, whether you are an AFOL, a user just like me, or maybe you're a designer of one of these incredible sets I'm going to talk about today, leave me a comment. I will 100% get back to you, usually within about the first 24 hours. Like I say, I love the interaction, and I love, especially when on a topic like today, when there's just so much to talk about. So anyway, though, with that, let's get into it. And again, we are talking about the Bricklink Designer Series, and specifically today, Series 8, because this Saturday, we get the official what are the top 5 finalist sets for Series 8. So I thought it would be fun. I'm going to give you my top 5 finalists. And so if you are a longtime user of this BrickCast, you know all about Bricklink and the Designer Program Series. If you don't know anything about it, you honestly, you owe it to yourself to learn about it and go to Bricklink because, again, like I said, this is like the hottest thing in Lego right now, and it's people just like you or me that are designing sets. And yeah, in some ways you can think of it like it's like Lego ideas, right? You submit a design, it gets voted on, could become an official Lego set, but this is a little different, okay? So whereas a Lego idea set, once it gets selected, who knows how many are out there? The Bricklink Designer Series program sets, they only have 5 per series and to a max of 30,000 sets. So these are very limited edition sets and really, really cool. I would just like to add that. And so once they're gone, they're gone. And so, for example, yesterday, all of the Series 5 sets dropped for pre-order, okay? And so, as expected, the Adventures in Transylvania and the Thieves of Tortuga, wow, impressive. There are still some, though, available. If you go to there and click on Series 5, you can pre-order that set. It needs at least about 5,000 sets for it to actually make, and then once it gets to 30,000, like some of those impressive sets we saw yesterday, it is sold out. And usually some of those really good sets like the Transylvania set, it's a couple hours and it is gone. And so after that, it's just on the aftermarket, in which you are going to pay a much bigger premium for sure. So anyway, the other caveat to that is once you get the pre-order, so all these people that have ordered Series 5 sets from yesterday, it is another 6 months actually until you receive that set. And so what we're talking about is Series 8, which actually we won't get pre-orders on for another few months. Like it's the fall. So it's just kind of an interesting thing how they go. And like I said, we'll be talking about Series 9 before the Series 8 gets finished and wrapped up. But anyway, having said all of that, like I said, the reveal is June 14th, and there are 384 different sets that we could have voted on. And the way the voting works is you had basically 3 smiley faces. You had a meh face, you had I like it face, and then you had an I love it face, okay? And for me personally, of the 384 sets, there were 76 I absolutely loved, and 76 sets that could totally be your top 5 finalists. For sure. And in fact, I should just say, before I even really get into who I selected, I should just say thank you to all the designers out there for the 384, well, probably more like 375. There's a couple out there that just weren't good, but overwhelmingly, over like 99.9% of these designs are just so good. They're so good. So if I don't say your set today, it's not a bash on your set. I promise you. It's a testament to honestly how good the competition is. Okay. And so, yeah, 76 sets that I'm like, these could be a potential set for Lego, which is crazy to me, right? And so I can't talk about 76 sets today. Instead, I narrowed it down to 29. And how I break down how it gets selected, it's not willy-nilly. If you look at the Bricklink series, usually there's like one small set in there. There's a couple medium-sized sets, and then there's a couple massive sets, like up to or just over 4,000 pieces. And so I have broken down your top 5 finalists into one small set, 2 medium sets, and 2 large bad boys, okay? A small set to me is 1 to 1,500 pieces. And I know in Lego terms, 1,500 pieces is actually quite a large set, but in the Bricklink Designer Series, that is considered small. For a medium set, we're talking 1,500 to 3,000 pieces, which is crazy to me to think that a 3,000 piece set really could be considered a medium-sized set. But overwhelmingly, the big sets are 3,000 plus pieces, okay? So, kind of laid it out there for you. We're going to start off small. See what I did there? With the small sets. And of those 29 sets that I have really narrowed it down to, 9 of them are small sets. Okay? So in no particular order, if you made my top 9 for small sets, here you go. Congrats to you. We have the Vintage Space Shadow Box by Minifigan Space, which, by the way, if you are catching this on YouTube, I will put an image up of the set I am talking about. So just so that you have that, so you know what I'm talking about. We have the Scientist Kit by Jagamax. We have the Bog Witch's Hut by Night Lord Builds. We have the Blossom Painter by Marnus. We have the Explorers of the Sky by Super Minister. We have the Dragonfly Planter by Sea Dragon 393. We got the Desktop Dioramas by Elena Elitia 45. Then we have the Vampire Hunter by King Creations. And finally, the Countryside Greenhouse by Puppy. Okay, those are my top 9, but it's just like Highlander. There can be only one, right? I am going to tell you, I'm going to give you a runner-up. For each category, I'm actually going to give you a runner-up, but then I'm going to give you my winner. So let's start with the runner-up for the small sets. And there were a couple that I was really, there were a couple in there that I kind of went back and forth on over and over again because the Dragonfly Planter is so cute. I really loved the Bog Witch and just the eeriness of that. Love me a microscope, right? How neat is that? And then the Blossom Painter just is really good. But to me, the runner-up, just barely, goes to the Countryside Greenhouse by King Creations. So congratulations, Countryside Greenhouse, as your runner-up. This is actually a revised submission. King Creations is a name that you probably have heard a lot about in this designer program. And you might hear more later on in this episode for sure, because he actually has 3 other designs. He's got the University of Science, the North Point Academy, as well as a clock tower. And so if that's not all, this is a guy, or a girl, I think it's a guy, I think King Creations is a guy, is a Series 3 finalist and Series 6 finalist. So that means King Creations actually already has had 2 of his designs selected as a finalist in previous series. And so could he be a three-peat? I don't know. We'll see. But he had the Camping Adventure in Series 3. That was a nice small set. And then the Off-Road Adventure. So he really likes adventures. I think that's cool. But the Countryside Greenhouse, I just think it was a cute little whimsical set. I like the the black with the glass, and you got all the plant life next to it. And I think for people who are doing like a Lego city, I think it could be a really nice addition to that. Like if you had like a little countryside or you had a little neighborhood going on in your little Lego city, it's just a cute little set, you know. And at I want to say it was under 1,000 pieces. It's just a nice little compact build, simple, easy, and just lovely. So King Creations, you did well. I really like that design. And let's be honest, I like a lot of your designs. They're just really good. They always tend to get a love it from me when I'm selecting designs. But there is, like I say, a winner here. And of the small sets, the big winner goes to Vampire Hunter by Pubby. Congratulations, Pubby. That Vampire Hunter set, it's really, really cool. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased because we just had the Adventures in Transylvania set, and that is such a big hot set right now that I think maybe, just maybe, that is an influencer on, they're like, oh, we like spooky sets. We like creepy sets. And what is creepier than a mausoleum with the whole, you know, classic what's that, Van Helsing style horse-drawn carriage where you've got the actual vampire hunter. You know, it's 834 glorious pieces. It has a sticker. It's got 3 minifigs to it, which is cool. And I just think the color scheme is nice, and I just really think people could go for it. What a perfect little addition. Like I say, if you manage to score yourself in Adventures in Transylvania, Lord knows, if you're looking at Series 8, you're like, bam, Vampire Hunter. Yes, I'm going to get that because I can put that right next to my giant Transylvanian castle for sure. So, Pubby, congratulations. I love your sets as well. He has 3 others that are submitted. We got the ice cream grill, the Japanese hot spring, as well as 4 scenes. So, the Japanese hot spring, particularly good for sure. But there you go. There are the small sets. So it's time now to move on to our medium sets. So medium, again, like I said, it ranges from anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 pieces. And pound for pound really had the most selections for me. It was the hardest to narrow down. But I did get it down to 10 that I absolutely loved. It very easily could have gone up to 15 or 20 because there's just so many in this category, and a lot of medieval sets for sure. And I've said this before, I'm not the biggest medieval fan, but I can see the allure of it, and they are very popular on the Designer Series. So what are you going to do? Anyway, in no particular order again, here are the 10 medium sets that I think have a real shot at being selected. And remember, I'm going to give you 2 here, okay? So first we have the Hooded Crow Medieval Inn by Just a City Boy. Cool set. We have the Seamount Giants. That's a neat set by Louis Denarico. Sorry, Louis, if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Guess who's back? We've got Pubby again with his Japanese hot spring. I had just mentioned that set a minute ago, but the Japanese hot spring is cute. And then we have the Pinball Machine by Zoe Lee. Look at that pinball machine. How neat is that? And then if that wasn't all, we got a twofer, Zoe Lee coming back to back with a second one that I really love, the Open Reel-to-Reel Tape Deck. So again, Zoe Lee hitting 2 of the 10 here in the medium finalists for me. We have the Mystic Conclave by Pepe Frost. We've got North Point Academy by King Creations. Again, mentioning that again. King Creations, good stuff. North Point Academy, do love it. Again, that's a resubmission as well. And then we've got the Crystal Keep by Lux Bricks. That is a neat set. And then the Medieval Tournament by Hello Zoe. I mentioned again, a lot of medieval sets in this series. So the Medieval Tournament is cool. And then finally, rounding out my top 10 was the Glassmaker's Workshop by Built with Clicks. Very nice building. And it's funny, a lot of the medium-sized sets for me just happen to be really cool-looking, modular style looking, but not modular buildings. And so without further ado, of those top 10, again, I'm going to give you a runner-up, and then this time, 2 winners. So our first runner-up, and this was really, really hard. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but I settled on my runner-up as The Hooded Crow Medieval Inn by Just a City Boy. Congratulations, Just a City Boy. The Hooded Crow is really cool. Obviously, to me, it felt like a nod to Shakespeare. It's this nice little taverny medieval style inn, really nice interiors to it. It has 2,169 pieces, 4 stickers, 7 minifigs, and of course 12 animals, because you can't have a good medieval building without a whole lot of barnyard animals surrounding it. So definitely a quality set. And I will tell you, you just beat out the Seamount Giants to me. So I will tell you, if you're Seamount Giants, you didn't make my top 3, buddy, but I did want to give you a shout out there because it was a really cool, very unique set. But the Hooded Crow is my official runner-up. That leaves 2. Okay, winner number 1 by Hello Zoe, the Medieval Tournament. Congratulations, another medieval style set. There were a couple medieval style tournaments, like a joust type thing going on in these submissions. And I just thought the one by Hello Zoe was just really well done. I think it would go perfect for all of these people that are scooping up all of the castle sets. And, you know, you have there was the medieval trebuchet in Series 4 or Series 3 or 4 that just went out. Very, very popular. People love Castle, and this just goes really well with that. 1,927 pieces, 8 stickers, 6 minifigs, and of course 2 horses, because you have to do your joust. So again, just a quality looking set, very versatile. You could set it a lot of places in your city. If you like Castle, if you like the medieval theme, it just really fits in well with it. So congratulations, Hello Zoe. Good designer. Also submitted the Parcel Locker number 1. That was okay. This one, fantastic. All right, that leaves 1 left. 1 left. Here we go. Without further ado, our final winner for the medium style sets, Lux Bricks with the Crystal Keep. Yes, that's right, Lux Bricks. Your Crystal Keep is really, really cool. And to me, it's more than just a castle. It is that Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth style. And look at the color scheme on this thing. You got the reds with the... let me pull it up. I guess I have it sitting right here. You got the reds of the rooftop, which I think are really good. And then you've got a little waterfall in the background with the trees. And then 2 full style buildings that come up. One of which is like a regular building for like your hobbits or your elves or your dwarves or whatever it is. And then you have the Wizard's Keep right next to it. And so just a really cool looking set. It is modular style, so it does come apart in like 5 different pieces, and then it has underneath it, because it's like on a craggy hilltop, you can actually get in there. It's got a little like trapdoor looking piece to it as well. So just really, really good. Lux Bricks, well done. Also, he submitted the Red Rock Ranch, which is a nice set, but I'm not really a Midwestern person. I will tell you, though, the Crystal Keep, 2,880 pieces, 5 stickers, 6 minifigs, and 1 horse. So not as much as the Medieval Tournament, who you've got the joust and the archery and then the sword fighting and whatnot, but definitely cool. Definitely well done. I'm looking forward to that. And I will tell you again, any of these could definitely become one of your top 5 finalists for sure. So there you go. We've gone through our small sets. We have gone through our medium sets. It is finally time to get to your big bad boys. And gosh, there are amazing things that you can do with Lego when it comes to sets that are 3,000 to 4,000 pieces. And again, I saw 10 that just absolutely blew my mind. And, more than 10 really, but I managed to narrow it down to 10 for this podcast. So I will tell you that of these 10, 2 of which were from a previous podcast where they were actually my finalists for Series 7. So in no particular order, the top 10 sets for me are the Red Rose Castle by Pierre Bourdieu, I can't ever say it, and the Grand Winter Carousel by Ties25. Both of those sets were actually sets that I picked as finalists for my personal list for Series 7. Great sets, really good looking sets. But moving on to our others, sorry, you ever get like a little, I got a little hair from my beard. It's messing with me. Sorry about that. Moving on though, 8 more. We've got the Medieval Fishing Village by Brickhammer, well-known designer. We have Merlin's Meridian by Pepe Frost, a very, very colorful set indeed. We've got the Gothic City Square by Mocker Momery, another dark Transylvania-ish type set. We have the Island Castle by Christ Romans, or Christo Romans. I can't ever say that right because it's all in one word. Island Castle, I will tell you, this designer also does some really amazing micro builds. If you're ever bored, check out his YouTube page. It's a really good one. Love his micro builds for sure. But the Island Castle, not a micro build. It is a massive build and really good looking. Look who's back. The University of Science by King Creations. Coming at us again, this time with the University of Science, really good looking set. And then we have the Grand Medieval Inn by The Magic. The Grand Medieval Inn, it is definitely grand for sure. And then 2 left, we have the Scarlet Bastion, again by Mocker Mommy. Mocker Mommy, solid. I think there are only 2 sets that she submitted, and they are both incredible looking for sure. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Song of the Dragon Dynasty by Admiralty Brick. Admiralty Brick. It's hard to pronounce, but incredible looking set as well. So there you go. Those were my top 10 for sure. I will tell you, my Grand Winter Carousel and my Red Rose Castle, I'm going to let you know, gentlemen, did not make my finalists this year. And I think that's a testament to how tight the voting is for me, how amazing the other designs were. And so I am sorry to you two. You did not get selected by me, but I am going to give you guys, we're going to get a runner-up and then 2 winners. So that list leaves 8 left to choose from. Without further ado, the runner-up, and this was really tough. The runner-up for me, Mocker Mommy's Gothic City Square. Wow, look how cool this set is. If this set gets selected, I think it's going to fly off the shelves just as fast as Adventures in Transylvania. It's one of those things where it's 3 separate builds. It's got like a cemetery style build to it, as well as the actual building itself, and then a horse-drawn carriage. Everything is done in the black scheme, which is the only thing I think actually holding this set up for me. If Mocker Mommy, if you're listening to this, I think if you were to incorporate some reds or some blues, something, probably reds, similar to kind of what you see there, some accents colors in there, I think it would make it pop just a little bit more, and I think it really has a good shot. So if it does get selected, congratulations to you. If it does not get selected, resubmit it for sure, because a lot of these people resubmit. Again, Red Rose Castle and the Grand Winter Carousel, 2 incredible looking sets that I would love to get selected. But that are resubmissions. A lot of these sets actually that I'm talking about today are resubmissions from previous series. But the Gothic City Square, it's 3,398 pieces, 3 stickers, 9 minifigs. Again, just an overall really solid looking set. I think people who enjoy Again, that Gothic style, that Transylvania, that dark, dreary, you know, spooky type of look. They are really going to go crazy for this set, especially the little graveyard mausoleum type looking area for sure. So anyway, Mocker Mommy, good job. That leaves, we've got 2 winners, 2 left, down to the wire. Here we go, y'all. Winner number 1, the University of Science by King Creations. It's just so good. It was almost a finalist for me in Series 7. I just really like this set, and I really think this is, with the resubmission that he did, the couple minor changes that he made, I think this might just be the time that puts it over the edge. It's a really cool set, guys. It is not only a really wide looking set, because you basically can fold it in half, right? So it almost appears like it looks like 2 different sets. Like when you have it completely open, so you have the entire facade out, it is really long, really beautiful, but then you can actually, because it's on hinges, you can close it up and it feels like a nice, tight, modular building. Plus, I like the fact it brings a little bit of the medieval kind of church vibes to me, and I just like that. It feels a little bit like if this had been a classic like Oxford University or a Harvard University style building, people would really go for it. Plus, it's got these really nice curved windows that kind of come up, not really like a flying buttress like you see with Notre Dame, but that whole side part of the building. It's not just dead flat. It comes over and it's really well done. You've got 2 main spires, and then you've got the one big clock tower looking spire. And then that doesn't, just to start to get into the inside interiors. You've got all these amazing looking classrooms. You've got your astronomy room. You have a science room with, let's see here, you got like a little biology and all that going on. You've got a main looking little like teacher's lounge or principal's office. I don't know. It's a really, really cool set. And I could totally see this fitting in so well in someone's Lego city. And even if you don't have a Lego city, it would look good on a shelf for sure. It has 3,995 pieces, okay? 7 stickers, 13 minifigs. And again, like I said, this is a resubmission. I believe King Creations started submitting this set in Series 6, and so this is actually the second resubmission. And I think this could be it for sure. So can he win a third time? We will see. I know a lot of people out there really like this set, and I just think it has a really good shot. So anyway, that was the University of Science. That just leaves us down to our last set. So winner number 2, if you've hung in there this long, thank you so much. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Was I right? Was I wrong? What are your selections? You tell me. But without further ado, your last winner, your top 5 finalists, and the second in the large category is The Song of the Dragon Dynasty by Admiralty Brick. It's a set I kept going back to over and over and over again. Guys, this is a 4,000 piece set, 17 stickers, 11 minifigs, and it's so good looking. I'm not honestly a huge castle fan, but I love this set because Admiralty Brick, he does this thing where you've got all this dark stone gray, right? That dark bluish gray brick. And he has it juxtaposed with the regular light gray brick of the walls. So you have this 2-tone gray color scheme. And if that's not all, topping off the walls, you have these white accent pieces that create the top pillars of all the towers and the castle itself, which I just think is really well done. Plus, you have this whole ramp, like a Helm's Deep style ramp that goes up to a huge drawbridge. And it's one of those sets, again, where you can open it up and it displays really wide and presents itself as this huge, gigantic looking castle. but then it's on these hinges and you can actually close it up into a really impressive looking, more compact build, which is like, honestly, feels a little bit like Beast Castle, but what Beast Castle could have been. In addition to that, you have the really cool, all the foliage that goes with it. There's these, the autumn colored vines that are climbing up the castle walls along with some purple plants, and it's all set against the brick. And the brick that he's got out, I say brick, I should say stone, right? Because every castle's on a giant mountaintop of stone. But here's what he did that's different. He already has the dark and the light grays working together. So for the stonework underneath, he sets it up as the tan and the light browns. And so it really, like I said, it's the contrasting colors to me that just made it stand out in a Series 8 where I swear to God we had like 50 castles. Like, we had so many castles and so many good castles that were submitted. And so to have something actually stand out as a castle, to me, it just really is saying something. I will say the interior, if it doesn't get selected, I would say it's probably because the interior is lacking in a few areas, but overall there's like so many rooms. You've got the giant throne room up above, you've got the dungeon area, and so overall this set is just really, really impressive to me, and I would not be surprised at all if it were selected. If it's not selected again, buddy, please make some minor revisions to it, get it submitted again, because this could be a Series 9 for sure. So, but there you go. Man, it's just crazy, right? So many good sets out there. 384 sets submitted. 76 that I thought were incredible. 29 that I really could not hardly decide on. And then broken down for you for top 5 finalists. Again, tell me, what do you think? Did I get it right? Do you think I'm crazy? I would love to know if you've gone in there and you have selected them. Tell me, what are your top 5 finalists? I would love to look at your sets. And also, if you designed one of these sets, whether I selected it or not, let me know. Let me know who you are. Let me know what you go through within your design process. I would love to actually talk to you on the podcast. Let's get you on. Let's go over it. I mean, it just would be really, really fun because, again, Bricklink Designer Series, guys, it's just so much fun. It's just so good looking. And here we go. On Saturday, we're going to know if I was right or if I was way, way off. We'll see, right? So anyway, I really appreciate you coming along on this one. I really appreciate you going to Bricklink and supporting these designers and this series and just what Bricklink is doing, because I think it is a huge help to our Lego community. There's a lot of Lego out there right now. And although it's an incredible product, there's been a lot of backlash lately because of pricing or lackluster design in some areas. And it's hard to stay king forever. But it's innovations like this that support our AFOL community that I think are so vital. So please, like I said, go to Lego Ideas, support Lego Ideas sets, because those are designers too. But go to Bricklink. Go to Bricklink. These are just regular people. I love it because it is such a good and positive community as well. So again, my hat's off to all of you. I really am so impressed by your talent and just appreciate you. And again, if you didn't get selected or if I didn't select your set, resubmit. You never know for Series 9, right? So anyway, I appreciate all of you as well for listening. And until Monday, when I come back with more latest news and rumors, I'm just going to have to catch you on the next one. All right? We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.